Tommy Show. Hello.
Basically like a flying couch.
Okay, so my friend Deegan recently gave me this little thing. It's a sort of rip-off Lego RC car, which when I say rip-off Lego, I just mean like the brick system is a rip-off from Lego or a rip from Lego. And the front wheels of this little motorized car are just plain plastic and they're very scuffed up for some reason. On the backside we have rubber tires which can be removed, which I may do from time to time on my finished build for like drifting and stuff and that sort of thing. And then on the back you have this really big and obvious switch that says on and off, which you would turn to on. And then you get your motion, but there isn't very much power in this. Like, yeah, I'm barely touching this and it's kind of dying. But anyway, what I'm going to try to be doing with this is kind of combining it into my scrap line, which this is my Mark III, which is sorry about the glare. But this is my Mark III scrap vehicle model, and I'm going to try to take some inspiration from this and incorporate it into this. Or is that sort of wiping out the idea of the big cab up here, because this one was very colorful and sort of decorative. Whereas this one is going to be more of a scrap supercar, I guess you could say. So it's going to be from the scrap line, but it's going to... I was going to imagine that it would be really well built so that it could reach very high speeds. So today I'm just going to be experimenting with stuff and sort of designing this. So I guess you could kind of call this sort of like the live stream that I did designing Mark III, which the original was way different. Instead of being really short, it would actually be longer than the end of my desk from sitting over here. But yeah. So let's go ahead and start a little time lapse and just sort of see what comes from this little thing. Okay, so right off the bat, before I say anything, I'm just going to say I hope that you guys like this a lot, because I really love this thing. It is amazing, in my opinion. So from the top, it might not look like much, and it obviously doesn't really look like a sports car. I'm calling it the scrap tank. But right, so you might see that there are no windows besides this one here. That is, well, because the window is actually lying down here, which I don't know where to pick this thing up. So there it is, and I have quite a bit to talk about here, which I'm going to pop off this whole entire assembly and talk about this for a second. So up here you might see this, or you'll see this window, and then you'll have the window up there, which you can see, and then there's these two slope pieces that kind of blend in here. And then, well, you have a whole bunch of bricks kind of hanging out inside the window, and then this bottom thing was going to be the floor for the minifigures, but this is not really minifigure compatible, and the floor kind of turned into just the bottom plate, I guess. And then this just clips onto here, which, the column that this is on is actually the column that is holding both of these beams up, and they clip on the same way and hide these really weird looking wheels. But I do actually like how they expose some of it, because they look pretty cool when it's moving. But on the other side it is the same, and then going up it kind of stays all in the same sort of slim sort of round design, which if I can get this back in, I shouldn't have taken it off with one hand. But there you go, and then once that's back on, you have it blending back in with these big pieces, which originally were going to go in a different spot, as you can see in the sort of time-lapse speed build. But under here, you have this round piece. I don't know what you'd call it. It's from a couple of the Antarctic sets that came out a while ago. And then you just have this big flat plate back here. The backside, I left open, and I don't plan to fill this in because that's how you get to the switch, and I don't want to hide it too much. Over here, it's identical to the other side, only except this big 2x6, or not 2x6, it's this big 4x6, actually has studs on it, the other side's flat. And then on the top, you have a couple little slopes there, and then you take this whole entire assembly, and you clip it back onto here, just like that. And I really, really like how this thing came out, because this whole fence section just is amazing in my opinion. And underneath, if I can get this thing to lay upside down, you can see the base there. The sort of motorized function of it should still work, because I tested it out every now and then when I was building it to make sure it still works. So yes, so the tank can still move. And what's kind of cool is you can see right through the window right there. So as I said, I hope you guys really like this build, because I really, really like this thing. It's probably one of my favorites out of the three, actually out of the four scrap builds that I've done, not including my base. This is probably going to be my second favorite to Mark II, which is hanging out way up there next to Mark I, which I don't really care for that much. But anyway, now that I've kind of explained this thing, if you guys want to take an extra look, I'll spin it around one more time. But if you guys enjoyed the video, or if you enjoyed the build, which I hope you did, make sure that you subscribe, watch my sister's video, like this video, and turn on that notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any future uploads. Bye for now, and thank you for watching.